All right, everybody. This week we're going to get this thing done. Here is Goldilocks, and she's in need of a lot of love now. She's been played pretty hard, and it's really starting to show. Well, more than starting to show. We're kind of beyond that. So, the biggest problems actually is with my fretboard. Did this a couple years ago, and you will see some of the downsides now. For the first time ever I've ever seen this, I've actually, and I'll try to get this in a camera angle, actually pulled the binding up out of its slot and up on to the fretboard. It's just a little bit of how aggressive that I actually play here, and as you can see, here's the problem. There's nothing that comes of this that's any good. So I have a new fretboard that I've cut for it, but I'm not putting it on. This is going to be a later project because I'm actually going to fill these frets with solder. I need this guitar to play for 2 nights, so I want to do that, and I want to show you guys exactly how I do it, and that it does work in a temporary type situation. Now, obviously, that is not the correct way to do it, and there's no long-term solution, but I think it'll get me through the weekend, and it'll allow me to get the kind of the rest of the stuff done, because that is not the only problem that I'm having. So as you can tell, this guitar has been beat up. I play it a lot. It is literally covered in blood. So this is what I would call the number one. But the other big problem that I need to address is the back side of this neck. Now, I left this guitar pretty much bone stock from the back. It is a Taylor 110D, which would have been an entry-level guitar for them when this was made. And I got this in 2010 or 12. Been a great guitar, but as an entry-level guitar, I wanted to do some kind of wild custom shop stuff on the front of it, and then leave the back of it just plain to show that it is nothing fancy. It's not any kind of high-end Taylor or anything like that. But the problem is this neck joint right here. So before you guys start commenting, there was a pilot hole driven, and this crack was not there for a very long time, but I tend to be pretty rough with these things, and I think it's becoming obvious if you're watching this video. So as you can see, there is some movement. I need to fix this. Now, the proper way to do so would be to take the neck off and re-glue it, put it all back together, but I'm not going to do that because it's not what I'm here to do this week. I just need to get it playable, and playable for at least 2 days. So we're just going to inject some glue into this and clamp it all up and get it solid. That way I'm confident that there will not be any problems this weekend with playing this guitar. Now, those are the 2 big things I am going to address, and you'll see more progress videos throughout the week as I make time to do these frets first and then the next. So I will probably, if I can make the time happen, do smoke and gold dust on the neck, because obviously it's due. Now, this is the same pattern, the scrolling pattern that I do the neck work with. This was the very first guitar that ever had that design, so I think it's time now to, since I will be cleaning up the neck a bit, I'm going to go ahead and add that. So hopefully I get time for that and be able to show you that. The rest of it, even this, I'm going to kind of leave this here. I think this is, I might be proud of this a little bit. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. All right, everybody, here we are with Goldilocks. So I'm going to start by saying, do not try anything you're about to see here at home. This is not the proper way to do any of this. So if you've missed any of the other videos, basically need this for this weekend. It is Monday afternoon. I need to play it Friday and Saturday night. It is in terrible shape, terrible condition. It's been neglected. This is my own personal guitar, so what I need to do first off is I have a small fracture here. It's not all the way through, but it's from the stud for the strap. Um, Now I did drill a pilot when this was originally put in there, and it went for a long time without it. But I jump around and yank on this thing. I play very aggressively, so I think that may have a lot to do with it. So basically, all I'm doing right now is I'm going to take a syringe and I'm going to inject some authentic high glue into this crack, and I'm just going to clamp it. All I want to do is stabilize it so it doesn't get any worse this weekend. And then when I get back and I get into this, I'm replacing the fretboard, so I'm going to actually remove the neck, and when I do so, I will then properly fix this, fill this hole, and make it look like it never happened. With that being said, as I like to say so often, I'm going to try to do at least, and I think I'll be able to. I want to do my smoke and gold dust design that I do on all the modern necks on this neck, because it's kind of ridiculous that this was the very first guitar to ever get that pattern. That is that clunking is the cable end to my pickup, which is currently obviously not connected to anything. But this design is what I'm going to put on the neck, and if you're on the website, you'll see all the guitars that have this. If you're on one of the social media platforms, you don't have to look far to find my pick. I've been looking for this for like 10 years. Anyway, so let's get into this. It's very simple. All I'm trying to do is stabilize this because I don't want it to get any worse. I'm not going to be mosh pitting with it or anything crazy, but at the same time, I don't want any problems. Good thing about this high glue is while it's hot, it's very pliable. I can move it. I can get it into tight spaces, especially with this syringe. And it's water soluble, so it's very easy to clean up the aftermath. I don't have to get too carried away here and have to worry about it. Carried away. The mix just a little thinner than I normally would have, and that is because I knew I had to get deep in there. So we're gonna have to hold on as I go clean this. You guys can hear me through the microphone. I'm really on the other side of the room. I have to get this syringe cleaned out, or I will literally glue it together. So in case I need to do more, I don't want to get carried away here. Okay, so now that being said, I need to get the clamping because the glues are drying. Since I'm replacing the fretboards, the fretboard, and obviously the frets, I don't care about the clamp on the frets themselves. I will, for one, not be getting that deep down onto the neck this weekend, so lots of chord play. I'm not worried about it. It's already hardening up. It's perfect. Not real well. All right, guys, just like that. I'm gonna let this sit for 24 hours, and then the next video. Oh boy, that's going to be the one. I've seen a lot of this on the internet lately, and it's trying to salvage frets with solder, with lead solder, and it is possible. And it's a temporary fix, obviously. Another don't do this at home type situation, but it will get you out of a jam, and has gotten me out of a jam. It's been a long time since I've done it, and I've just seen it all over the internet now. So I want to try it, and I want to make a video about it because it's kind of funny. It's as ridiculous as it is. It will work for at least the night. So that being said, like I always say, I want to get moving on. We'll let this sit and dry overnight, and then we'll go from there. So. Alrighty, so here we are, Goldilocks. This Thursday is very rare that I make a video and post it on the same day, but we're obviously running out of time. So basically everything got done but the smoke and gold dust, and it's not because I ran out of time, it's because I decided not to. So the next time I get into this guitar, I'm going to take the neck off of it. So doing a bunch of finish work on it. Maybe not. Maybe we're putting the cart before the horse a little bit. As much as I wanted it on there, I mean, it's on the back of the guitar. Nobody's going to see it, and nobody that I'm playing with really cares. And if you really want to see that design, it's all over the front. So, but not having done that has made me think a little bit, because now I'm kind of wondering maybe this whole thing just needs a refresh, because it is a very polished turd, and it's not as polished as it used to be. And this design is on every guitar neck that I've made since I did this. So maybe it's time for a change. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you like this? I know I'm going to change the Matty M thing, but as far as the finish work goes, let me know in the comments what you think. Should I change it, or should I just stick to the OG and keep it going? Because I do love this guitar, and I typically pick it up. I do probably 95% of my writing on it, so I'm not getting rid of it, that's for sure. But anyway, I've attached videos to the end of this of me finishing the guitar in warp speed on plaid. But it looks like everything's good. I got before and after pictures I'll be posting. I'll continue to post even though I'm done. And hopefully this weekend maybe I can get somebody to videotape me playing this thing. I don't know, we'll see. But with all of that being said, like I like to say all the time, I'm going to get back to it because I have other things to do. And I got to get packed because I'm leaving in the morning, like early in the morning, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So here it is. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys enjoy the content. And maybe when I get back, I'll tear this thing all down and do it all over again. We'll see. Let me know what you think. We'll talk to you later. We're back here with Goldilocks, and as you can tell, the frets are a little shinier. So we're done with the filling. As you can tell, there are still some, well, now it's out of focus, there are some waviness here. Now, I had no intentions of trying to make this perfect. I want to throw these frets away after the weekend. So just need to make it playable, just need to fill some of the worst damage. There are some dings still in here because some of the small spots are too small to actually put lead in there and get it to stay. Now you can file it out more and put more lead in there, but now you're eating away at the good part, the meat part of the fret, and you're putting a soft metal in there. It's just not going to last. So unfortunately, there's really no good way to repair frets that are in this bit of disarray and this bad. Just wanted to fix this for the weekend to see how it would to hold up, make some content for you guys. I will check back on Monday. I'll do another video and see how it ended up because I'll be beating on it. I am not taking it easy on it. So wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. All right, everybody, we're back with Goldilocks. Now, if you saw anything that I did last week, I did something that I've seen a lot lately on the internet, and that is backfilling frets with lead solder. Now, that is obviously a very temporary fix, but it does work. It seems funny to watch on the internet, but I played this for about 3 hours without any problems. Well, actually, I still don't have any problems. But I am going to show you these frets because that solder is soft, and it kind of gives you an idea what 3 hours of playing will do on a repair like that. Now, it took me about 10-15 minutes to actually do the repair, and that is prepping the frets, filling them with lead solder, and then just crowning them and getting them straight and level, fret rocking them, making sure I didn't do any big work as far as blocking frets or nothing like that. Now, for those of you that don't know, this fretboard is actually coming off, and all these frets, I mean, they're garbage. So we're just getting rid of them, and we're starting over with a whole new fretboard with some different inlay work. So I just wanted to do this more or less for a content video, but it gives you an idea that stuff, it will work, just not for a very long time. So with that being said, let's pop this thing up here. Now, for granted, it's not in tune, but you can see, or you can tell rather, that the buzzing situation really doesn't exist, and that's saying a lot because there is actually still some damage. Now, when I say still damage, I mean the damage has returned. You can see here in this video. Now, I did take photos of before and after, like up close photos, and I'm going to put those on the norattlecans Instagram for the raw photos. I did post last week of just a couple photos, like a one before and one after, and the video kind of going up the neck. I'm going to add the video going up the neck with this so you can kind of see the aftermath. But once I get mono private stock, all of that posted onto Instagram, I'll start posting the before and afters of this project. I try to keep the no Instagrams, rattlecans, no Instagram, wow. It's only Monday, and it's already started off rough. The no rattlecans Instagram page, I'm using that more as like a portfolio extension for those of you that don't know. So I'm trying to keep each guitar, its group of pictures posted together instead of just randomly posting stuff. So that's why I'm waiting to post the rest of the mono private stock before I post this. Now, there is literally over 1,000 photos from mono private stock, so I'm not going to post all of those, but Instagram limits me or caps me at 100 posts a day, which is probably good, because if I posted everything on one day, you would just have a timeline full of my garbage. So we're just going to keep doing 100 photos every day, every other day, or so much. There has to be a 24-hour gap before I can repost, or it just won't let me. So I want to continue getting at least 500 of those photos posted. So by the end of this week, I should start posting. Well, by beginning of next week, I should start posting some of the work from here. In the meantime, let's show you what the neck looks like, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so you can see that was one of the big ones. Now, all 6 positions of this fret was severely gouged, as you'll see in the before pictures. And you can see now this was the very worst one. It is very much back. Now, it's half of what it was, so another couple hours of playing, I'm going to be kind of back to square one. So it did a very temporary repair, but it did work. So how about that? Now, the next step will be removing this fretboard, taking this all out, removing the fretboard, replacing it, refretting it, the binding, the inlay work, everything. I took a bunch of pictures, but I didn't do any video a couple years ago when I did this, because I wasn't doing that kind of content. But I am now, so I want to put this big project, because it is a pretty big project, getting this fretboard off and replaced, especially the inlay work. So I'll get into that as soon as I can. This is my own personal guitar, so sometimes everything else comes first. So I will let everybody know when I get back to it, and then we'll go from there. Wish me luck.